Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Creative Hands by Shay. So in today's tutorial, I will be showing you how to make a crop top sweater. So if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I hope that you will love this tutorial and you'll be able to make one of your own. To my regular viewers and subscribers, thank you so much for always being here, guys. So I will be putting in the description box more information about this tutorial, so make sure you check it out before you start. So I have my 5.0mm crochet hook here. I have my scissors, darning needle, and also stitch marker. You will also need the yarn of your choice, and this is the one that I will be using, and this one is Golden Sun, and it is 100% cotton. I have worked with this yarn before. I actually got them from Temu, and it's quite good. It's not bad, and it has 50 grams on each skein. So I will be using both colors, so any yarn that you want to use, you can do that. But what I will do is I will be doubling the strand so that I can have it a bit thicker. So guys, let's jump in the video. Guys, I did went ahead and I made one of the square, and this is what it looks like. So if you're familiar with making granny square, you should know that it's quite easy to make up. So I used, as I showed you before, that I'm using two different colors, and I did a total of 18 rows for the inner part here, and I did 6 extra rows for the side. So depending on how loosely fitted you want this crop top sweater to be, depending on how many rows that you want to achieve, and how short you want the crop top to be. So do your measurements. I will let you know what's the, let me just show you. So the width of this is 20.5 inches in width, and it should be, let me just see for the length here. So for the length is almost 50, well, call it 15 inches. Yeah, 15 inches in length. So that is good. I will be adding on the bottom part later on. So let us start. So to begin, you will start by making a magic ring. So to make your magic ring, you wrap your yarn around your fingers just like this, or you can do it your own regular way. Insert your hook, pull up a loop. Once I've done so, I'll go ahead and chain 1, 2, and 3. So now that I've chained 3, I'm going to yarn over, go back into the ring, and I'm going to place a 1 double crochet. Again, another double crochet. So you'll be making 3 clusters of double crochet and a chain 2. So yarn over, go back again, and make 3 clusters again. So that's 1, let me just repeat that. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And you're basically going to continue doing this all the way around by making 3 clusters followed by a chain 2 until you have a total of 4 clusters, and I'll see you there at the end. Now I have come to the end, and now I'm going to chain my last 2, and I'm going to slip stitch on top of our chain up to 3. So you could have started with chain 2, but I did start with chain 3. It doesn't really matter which one you start with, because it works just the same. Okay, so now that I have slip stitch there, we are just going to go ahead and pull on our center to close that middle part up. So now that we have done so, you are going to chain 2. So I'm going to chain 2 going forward, turn your work, and into that chain 2 space you are going to place 1, 2, chain up 2. Sorry about that. This chain 2 is going to count as our first double crochet. Make another set of double crochet. So we have a corner completed. So we have 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Now you are going to chain 1, yarn over, go into the next, and you're going to repeat the same thing. 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Repeat this all the way around until you get to the end. So let me just finish this one. So I have 3 there, chain 2, go back in the same space and make 3 more double crochets. So there it is. Follow the same sequence until you get to the end, and I'll meet you back. Now I have come to the end and I have my chain 1 there, and I'm going to slip stitch on our second double crochet. And then chain 1 and fasten off because we will be changing our color. So we can lay this aside for now because we're not going to use it again for now, just for now. So now we are going to get our lighter pink, which is going to be the most for this inner part. So now you can either work on this side or you can work on the other side, which I'm going to work on the other side here. And you can start your attach your yarn in any one of the spaces. So I am going to attach it here in the center. Give that a tie. Chain up 1 more because we did have a chain 1 there, so we're just chaining 1. So now you are going to yarn over, go into the space, and you're going to make 2 double crochets. Remember, the chain 2 is going to count as our first double crochet. And now that we have done so, we're not going to chain 1 in between anymore. We're just going to yarn over and place 1 double crochet into the next available chain 2 space. So that's 2, 3. So you're making a corner. You're going to chain 2, go back into the same space, and finish off your corner. 2 and 3. Now we are in the other chain 1 space here. You're going to yarn over, go into that space, and place 3 sets of double crochet. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Go over to your chain 2 space here, the corner, and you're going to make a corner. So just repeat this all the way around. Once you get to the end, I will meet you back there. There it is. And now I have come to the end of row 3. This is what our square looks like so far. So now we are going to go ahead and slip stitch on top of our second double crochet. So I just wanted to address this. Somebody in the comment asked me they don't understand why I turn my work. And I actually told them that it's just a preference. So I am actually going to do it the way how I think they had wanted me to do it. So I normally just either chain up my 2 and turn, and then start my next round on the other side and just continue to rotate it just like that. But I think this is the way how she wanted me to do it. So what you will do is you'll just chain up 2. That is your first double crochet. You're going to yarn over and you're going to go into this space here. Make your double crochet twice. Remember, the chain 2 counts as your first double crochet. And now you're going to yarn over, go into the next space, and place 3 more clusters of double crochet. And you're basically going to continue doing this all the way around. Once you get to a corner, you will make a corner. And once you get to the 3 double crochet space, you will just make a 3 double crochets there. So I am just going to continue doing this, and you're just basically repeating this all the way. So I'm going to do this all the way around and come back here, and I'll get back with you. Guys, now I have come to the end, and again I am just going to slip stitch on top of our second double crochet, and I just wanted to start that row again for you. So I'll chain up 2, yarn over, chain 2, count as your first double crochet, go back into that same space, and you're gonna make 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. That completes our first cluster. Continue to do this all the way around until you get to a total of 15 rows. Once you get to the end, then I'll meet you back there and I will show you how I did the corners of row 16. So just continue to work. If you're doing the same measurement as I am doing, you can follow along, but whatever measurement that you're doing, let me just explain. So if you want your top to be wider than this, to be more sluggish or more loosely fitted on your body, once you're gonna get to your last final 2 rows, make sure that you make this row where I did the corners here close to that part there. So if you're doing the same measurement as I am doing, you will go up to row 15. Once you go to the end of row 15, then I will meet you here where I will show you how to make this corner like this. So in whatever size that you're making, make sure that you reach, when you reach to your last 3 rows, so it will be your last 3 rows, you will change your color here. So continue to do that and I will see you at the end of row 15. So guys, now I have come to the end of row 15, moving on to row 16, repeating the same thing, chaining up 2, then 2 double crochet into that space, then go over to the next space and proceed making your 3 clusters of double crochets. And we're gonna do this until we get to this corner. Once I am there, I will meet back with you and I'll show you how to join your color. Now I have come to my corner here. So in my last double crochet in this cluster, we're gonna make the double crochet, but we're not gonna finish it. So we have 2 loops on the hook. We're gonna get our new color and we're gonna join that. So you're gonna give it a tie with the pink, so now that we have that, we're going to chain 1 just to make sure that we have space in between there, and we're going to carry this pink yarn with us because we're not going to fasten off. So you're going to make your double crochets. You can either carry it or rejoin your yarn, either one that you choose, but I choose to just carry the yarn so I don't have to fasten off. So you're just basically repeating the same thing, making your corner, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So there it is, here's your corner. And then I just did the last one, so I'm gonna redo that. So just as we did before, now we're going to change color. We are going to pick up on our pink yarn and pull that through, and we're going to fasten off from the pink. Okay, so now that we have done so, now I am going to chain 1, and it's just for this part here. And the only reason why I am chaining 1 is just because we need to have space, a better space when you are doing your next round. Because if I did not chain 1, then this part would have just go close up to this here, and I don't want that. So that's the only time that you will chain 1. But for the other remaining spaces, you will just add 3 double crochets in those spaces. So there it is. So that's 1 corner completed. Continue to do all your clusters until you reach the next corner. You will repeat the same exact thing. Feel free to rewind the video if you don't remember what to do. So I'll see you at the end of this row 16. Guys, now I have come to the end. I have my chain 1 there, and I'm just gonna slip stitch, and again we're just repeating the same exact thing that we did, and we're just gonna make 2 more rows for this size that I am making. So however loose or however short you want your crop top to be, you just measure it on yourself and see where you want it to fall, because after this 2 rows I am going to work on the side of the crop top to get it to be wider. So I'll see you at the end of my 2 rows. So guys, now I have come to the end of row 18. I'm going to chain 1 and fasten off. So I'm just going to put this aside, and I'm going to get my other color. And now we are going to work on the side. So either one of the side you can choose from. It doesn't matter which one, because both of them, or all 4 sides, are the same. So now what we're going to do is we are going to insert our hook here and our yarn and attach it, chain 1, give it a tie, and then you're going to chain 1 and 2. Sorry about that. So now that we have our chain up there, that's going to count as our first double crochet, and we're going to place 2 more double crochets here. Into the next space, you're going to do a cluster of 3, and you're just basically going to continue doing this all the way until you get to the end. So guys, and now I have come to the end, and I'm just going to place 1 double crochet into this corner. Then we're going to chain up 2, turn your work, and then we're going to start with 3 double crochets. So that chain up 2 counts as our first double crochet. We're going to place 2 more, and that's our cluster there. You're going to yarn over, going to the next, and repeat the same thing by making clusters of 3 until you get to the end. So once you get to the end here, you will place 1 double crochet here. So you're gonna go, you can go like in between this stitch here and just place your 1 double crochet and just start. So I'll see you at the end here and I'll show you. So guys, and now I have come to the end of row 2, and I'm gonna yarn over and go into in between that last stitch and place 1 double crochet. So remember, in row 1 we started with a cluster and we end with 1 double crochet here. Then we started back again with a cluster and we end with 1 double crochet. So you're gonna just repeat row 1 and row 2 until you get to a total of 6 rows, and you're gonna repeat this on both sides of your square. Once you chain up your 2, remember the chain 2 counts as a double crochet. You're going to place 2 more double crochet here to finish that cluster, and just repeat the same steps. So now you have a cluster here. You're going to finish off with 1 double crochet here. So I'll see you at the end. Guys, and now I have come to the end, and I'm just going to make my last double crochet here. And this is what our next panel looks like. So it is now completed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 1 and fasten off here, because I want to, and try not to cut too much of your yarn. Let me see, I'm going to go about there. So I want to do my single crochets across the top, but this is the back of the panel, and I want the single crochet to be on the right side starting. So I am going to change my hook to a size 4 so I can get a more tighter stitch. And I'm just going to attach my yarn. So right at the end there, let's give it a tie, and then a chain 1, and then we are gonna go back into that same space and make our first single crochet. So we're gonna single crochet there, and then we're gonna single crochet into this crease. So you can see we have 2 single crochet there, single crochet into that double crochet into the next, and I'm kind of going over this tail end so I can have it weaved in. So you're basically placing 2 single crochet where you have a double crochet there. So I have 2 there. I'm going over to the next, and I'm going to place 2 more. So I'm going to continue doing that to this end, and I will see you there. Guys, I am making my last single crochet into my double crochet there, but I'm not going to finish. I am going to pick up my other color, and I'm going to pull through on that, give it a tie, and fasten off from this color. And then continue making single crochets right across. So now we have 1 single crochet here into the chain 1 space, the chain 2 space of the corner here. So don't put any more into that corner, because remember we made 2 single crochets, 2 chains into the corner here, but we're not going to put 2 single crochet there. We're going to go directly into that double crochet and make a single crochet. So just continue making single crochets right across and weave in your tail end as you go along. So it's more easier now that you have the stitches to work into. So once you get across to here, you're just going to repeat the same thing. Change to your next color and finish off with the darker color here. So I'm going to continue doing that, and I'll see you guys. Now I have come to the end, and I'm just making my last single crochet. So I'm just gonna pull up on that, and this is what the front of the panel looks like. So what you're gonna do is, this is on the right side, and let me just see here, you are gonna get your next panel and you're gonna place it, making sure that the right side is facing this one here. So let me just check to see. Okay. So this is my wrong side. So the wrong side should be facing upward to you, and both right sides should be facing each other. So you are going to sew. You can get your stitch marker just to mark. Hold your panels together. So I'm not going to fasten off on this one as yet. So I'm just putting my stitch markers together. So now it's depending on how wide you want a necklining to be. If you want it to be falling off your shoulders, you can just probably stitch just a little bit in from here to, let me see, about 2 inches in. Or if you want it to be more closer, you can stitch from here, come all the way up to here. So you can do 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2, 3. So 3 of the pink clusters in, and then this part would be the neckline in here, and this would be the shoulder part here. So I don't want mine to be wide, so I want it to come close. So I'm gonna go close in. So I'm gonna stop here. So 1 2 3, count in the back, 1 2 3, and you'll put your stitch marker here. So you're gonna sew from this end to this end, and you will do the same here. Let me just remove this stitch marker. So 1 2 3, so we're going in from here, 1 2 3 to here, and this is the neckline in here. So I am going to go ahead and you can either use your darning needle or your hook to do this part. So let me remove the stitch marker. I am going to use the hook. I don't know, I like using the hook to do my sewing. It goes faster and I guess it's more neater. So I like to use my hook. So let me just open back here. And we're still using the size 4 hook. So I'm going to chain 1 and turn. And into that same stitch on this side and into the stitch on the other side, you're just going to go ahead and make a slip stitch. If you're using your hook, you will just slip stitch right across until you get to wherever you want it to be. So I'm going to do that on this side, and then I'll meet back with you. Guys, now I have come to the end of stitching up my shoulder strap here. So now I'm just going to fasten off, tight chain 1 there, and you can go ahead, weave in your tail ends if you have not already done so. So the top is now completed, and I went ahead, I noticed that the inner part that I did here was a little bit too close, so I went down 1 cluster. So instead of doing 3, I just did 2 on each side, so I come in 2 parts here. So go ahead, sew, weave in your tail ends. Make sure that this is not showing on the outer part of your garment. And now I can fasten off. Okay, so that part is completed, and this is the neckline in here. So that is wide enough for me. So now we are going to work on the side. We are going to join our yarn here. Give it a tie as usual. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do a slip stitch. I want to weave these tail end in as I go along. So it doesn't really matter if you do a slip stitch or if you do sewing with your needle. So now I am just going to go ahead, you can go back into the same stitch that you just join your yarn, make a single crochet, go into the next, and you're making your single crochet into both loops on each side, and you're gonna weave in your tail end. But before I am done doing this, I just want to do the measurements for the armhole area. So you're gonna measure 9 inches from the top down, or depending on how wide you want your sleeve to be. So I'm going to stop at 9 inches here, and I'm just going to count to see how many clusters that is. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So I'm just going to place my stitch marker here, count on this side. Let me just see. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Okay, so next one should be placed here, and whatever you do on this side, you're going to do that on the other side as well. So continue to make your join your panel together, whether you're sewing or you're doing a single crochets or slip stitching. Do that until you get to here, and I'll meet you back there. Now I have come to the end here, and I'm going to chain 1, pull up on my yarn, and we're going to turn this over because we will be working on the right side for the sleeve. So flip your work over, and you can see how nicely sewed that is on the side there. So now you are going to remove your stitch marker, get your size 5 hook, and let me just bring my yarns through here. Okay, perfect. Oops. Okay, so now we're gonna chain one more, and into this space here we're gonna make our first cluster. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Go over into the next space and make another cluster, and you're just going to repeat this all the way around. You'll make a cluster here, you'll make a cluster here. Just continue to do that, and I will see you at the end. Guys, now I have come to the end. I made my last 3 double crochets there, and where we did our chain of 3 here, I'm just gonna go underneath and do a slip stitch. Then I'm gonna chain 1, 2, and 3, and we're gonna yarn over. We're not gonna work here. We are going to go into the next space and make our cluster. And once you come back around to the end here, you are just going to slip stitch on your chain of 3 and start your next round again. So just continue to do this, and I will see you at the end. As now I have come to the end, and I am going to go ahead and slip stitch on our chain of 3 there. Now I am going to go ahead, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, and into this space you're going to place 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Then continue making your 3 clusters of double crochets. So this chain of 3 is not a double crochet, it is just like the joining of how the sleeve is. So this is where your cluster is. So continue to do your clusters all the way around, and I'll see you at the end. Guys, now I have come to the end, and I am going to place 3 double crochets here. Let me just redo that one. So there we have our 3 sets. So it's matching now, and now you can either go in on top of that chain 3, but it's a bit hard sometimes. I just go like underneath. Now I'm gonna go ahead, chain of 3 again, and now what we're gonna do is we are going to go over to the next stitch because we don't have anywhere to put anything here. So once you come up to a row that looks like this, all you have to do is just go to the next space where you have that opening there, and then just put your chain, your clusters of double crochets there. So when you get back to this part here, you will do your last one here and then slip stitch. So then you will have 2 opening on this side. So I'm going to continue to do this all the way around, and I will see you at the end. Guys, now I have come to the end, and I am just going to go ahead, slip stitch, chain of 3, and into our space here we're going to place 3 double crochets. So we're repeating this is row 1, row 2, so we're repeating row 3 here. So you're going to repeat row 3 and row 4. So you're going to keep on doing these 2 rows until you get to your end. So remember, we ended off with 2 clusters here, and into row, let me just recheck that. So 1, 2, 3, we ended off with 2 clusters on each side, and row 4 we ended off with the clusters and the space where we can add cluster for the other row. So I hope I'm not confusing you. So you can just look at how the pattern is on this here, and just follow the same steps. Once you follow this, you will just continue to alternate until you get to your desired length, and then I will meet back with you once I am at my desired length. So I'll see you there. Just repeat this to the end. So this is how the sleeve is now. So I'll see you there, guys. And now I have come to the end of making the length of my sleeve. And if you're wondering why am I having so many different colors, I actually did not have enough yarn to finish this, and I didn't want to order another set because it would have taken like a week before I get it, and I wanted to put this tutorial out. So I just improvised and put some colors together. So I am going to show you the other sleeve. I made it, and this is what it looks like. So I finish off with a lighter pink here. I have red, and I have the pink that we started off with. So for this arm, I have a different type of yarn. I try to get something as close as I could to finish this top, and I hope that it will turn out beautiful. But so far I am loving the combination of the colors that I'm putting in. So now what we're going to do is we are going to work on closing this part up. So just as I did on this sleeve here, we're going to work on this part. So what you're going to do is you're going to chain one, and into that first stitch you're going to insert your hook, pull up a loop, go into the next one, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and you're going to do a decrease. And you're going to do this all the way around by decreasing into each stitches. So I'm going to continue doing this until I get to the end, and then I'll meet you back there. So guys, and now I have come to the end, and I didn't tell you how many rows I did with the sleeve. I did a total of 33 rows from the joining all the way to the end here. So now I'm just going to slip stitch on top of our first single crochet, and now we are going to do some more decreases actually. So we're going to go back into that same stitch, that first one that we just slip stitch, and we're going to make a single crochet, and then we are going to make another decrease. So one single crochet followed by a decrease. So that's one, and then two together, and that will bring the opening smaller. So I'm going to continue doing this all the way until I get around back to where we started, and I'll meet you back there. As now I have come to the end, and I'm making my last single crochet, and then I'm going to slip stitch, and this is what the opening is. So if this is wide enough for you, which it is for me, this is good. So I am going to stop here. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to chain one, and I'm going to change my hook now, and I'm going to use a size 4 hook that I've been using before. So now you're going to yarn over, and you're going to make up a half double crochet. So you're going to go back into that first stitch, and you're going to place one half double crochet, and into each and every stitches around you're going to place one half double crochet. And the same exact thing you do for this sleeve, you're going to do it for the other sleeve as well. And again, because I am running out of yarn, that's the reason why I am using different types of colors, or different type of yarn. Well, it's a different yarn for this part. So I'll see you at the end. Guys, now I am back to where we started off here. And you can continue to use the smaller hook if you choose to have a tighter cuff, but I am just gonna change back to my 5. I just wanted this to get together nicely. That's the reason why I use the smaller hook, but this is definitely optional. You don't have to use this. You can continue to use your size 5 hook. So you are just basically going to continue to do this all the way around until you get to your desired length for the cuff. And I can do the measurement for this part here so you could see. So from here to here, yeah, let me just do that to exactly where we started. Okay, so it's here. So it's 3.5 inches in length. You can go a little bit more if you choose. You can go at least 5, depending on how it is measured on your arm. So you can do your own measurement. So I am going to stop at 3.5 inches. So I will see you once I am at the end. So chain 1, go back into that same stitch where you did your slip stitch, and make your half double crochet all the way until you get to the end. So I'll see you there. Guys, now I have come to the end of making my rows, and I'm just going to pull up and fasten off here. So I'm going to lay that aside, and I'm going to get my darning needle, and we're going to close this part off. So insert your hook into both loops, and into the back loop on this stitch here, and you're going to insert your needle downward. So just like that, and then you can go ahead and weave your tail end in. Make sure that you're not going into the outer part of your stitch. So you can basically place it anywhere. Okay, now I'm going to fasten off. Okay, and there is our sleeve. It is now completed. So that's both sleeve completed. And now we are going to work on the bottom of the sweater. So I just wanted to have like a border kind of thing, like a yeah, like a border. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna use some leftover that I have here. So I deliberately kept back some of this one here so I can have it to use it for the bottom part of our top. So let me just use this small hook, and I am gonna go directly into, let me see if I can go in. I'm gonna use a smaller hook. Let's go directly into that center there to join our yarn. Okay, I'm just gonna do a chain up one, give it a tie. Let me use my size 4. So I'm using the size 4 hook for the border. So now we are going to place some double crochets. So we're going to go into this space here where we have a double crochet. We're going to place the double crochet that is laying across. we're going to place 2 double crochets there. And you're going to place them all the way until you get to here, and then you'll just continue to place them into the stitches all the way around. So I will see you at the end. Now I am back to where we started off here, and I'm just going to make a slip stitch on top of our first double crochet. We're going to chain up 2, and we are going to do front post and back post double crochet. So into this first double crochet, you're going to place front post. Into the next, you're going to place a back post. So you're going to insert your hook from the back, put the stitch out that way, and to make a back post double crochet. Front post, insert your hook, pull up, yarn over, and pull through. You're going to repeat this all the way around until you get to the end, and I'll meet you back there. Guys, now I have come to the end, and I have my last stitch here remaining. And because I am using different colors and I don't have enough, this is what I have left back from this skein, which will not be enough. So I will be going back to the pink. So you can just continue to do yours in one color. You can either choose the darker color or the lighter color to complete this part of your crop top. Now that I have slip stitch, I'm just going to chain 1, 2, and then where I have my front post here, I'm just going to continue making front posts. And where I have my back post, I am going to continue making back posts. So I'm not sure how many rows I'm going to do because I don't know how many more yarn that I will have left, but whatever I have and whatever I come up with, that's what I'm going to work with. Remember guys, I'm improvising as I go along. So you can do whatever amount of rows that you want to do for the ribbon. And once you are done, or once I am done, I will meet you back at the end. So I'll see you there. Guys, now I have come to the end and I'm making my last double crochet, which is a back post. And now I have completed the ribbon here, and I'm just gonna fasten off. And just as we did when we were finishing the cuff, we're repeating the same thing. So insert your needle into both loops on this side, pull through, going to the back loop on the other side, take your time. Weave in the remaining tail end. Now I'm going to fasten off, and our top is now completed. So I will weave in these tail ends afterwards. So if you have not yet done your tail end, you can go ahead and do so. But our crop top sweater is completed, guys. So this is what it looks like. So there is the neck lining, and you have the little part there that looks like a little heart, that at the bottom as well, and there is the little ribbon. So you can see I try to blend the colors nicely, and the sleeve, there it is. So everything goes in accordance. So there it is. It is looking super cute. I actually love the way how it looks with the different colors. So guys, I hope that this tutorial was straightforward and easy for you to follow. and I hope that you were able to make one of your own in whatever color of your choice. Thank you so much again for watching. Until next time, bye.